I love you, big dog. Hello, crazy nurse. Hello, Earth. Watcher. Kim Beerley. I think, Kim, they're going to let him go. Hey, Beverly. They're going to go out to Moselle in the morning, come back, and start closing arguments tomorrow. I'm not ready. I needed probably, I don't know, a couple hours of nap today to get just to process the defense jumping on everything. Hey, Laura Lee, everything that the prosecution redirect. I mean, I could be a lawyer. I'm Nancy Grace. And I have some of it queued up. Well, I've got the whole thing. We got to talk about this. I'm going to wait for everybody to get here. Because hey, Hope. I love you, Earth. Dorothy. I'm exhausted too. But I thought of a good parody that I'm going to do. I'm going to do me living through this trial. Trust me, it's going to be funny. Because y'all know I took my phone everywhere and listened to it everywhere I went. So me and the little my little thespian are going to do a parody probably Saturday about that. Because I don't know what I'm going to do after this. So if they start closing arguments tomorrow, so they're going to meet at 9. They'll probably leave before. Hey, man, they're probably going to leave before 9:30 is what the judge said. Takes a half hour to get down there. They'll walk around. I wonder if they'll have like where the bodies were. Because I have had a revelation. I had a revelation during this. Hey, Flossie. I love that last witness. Was it Dr. Kinsey? I just want him to come to my house and hang out. I love him so much. They really flipped it in. Yeah. And I love it that none of these witnesses that they put up were budging off of their stories. And as mad as they got, the defense, I told y'all Eddie won't coming too. Didn't I tell y'all Eddie won't coming? Eddie won't come. The AG, the Attorney General, Kim Beerley, did some, what the hell he doing there? Hey, Eric, I love you. Yeah, I think he was bored up in his thing. Hey, CJ. Hey, Texas Tiffany. It's been a day, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a day. Oh, I knew Cousin Eddie won't come. I knew because he's just got, listen. Hey, gymnast girl. Yeah. Oh, hey, Freeside, my son. Muffin Mouse. Hello, Presley. I love you, baby. All right, you work. I'll talk. Anyway, sorry. What was I? They're going to go out, look at it. I don't know how long that's going to take. Hey, Lucy's World. You know, maybe if they mull around an hour, they can't ask questions unless they ask the judge. They said the scene has changed a lot, which, you know, I guess. And then they'll come back and start closing arguments. So the prosecution will start. Say they get back around 11. I think that's when he said, the judge said 11. And we're almost at this, kids. I mean, we're almost at the end of this. You got sucked in and did nothing to watch it. I did too. Hey, Dawn Marie. Yes, we're going to call it Court Buddy Chat because a lot went on today and a lot's getting ready to happen. And I was telling my mom today, I was looking at Alex and I told her, I said, just say Alex didn't do it. Say he didn't do it and he gets convicted. That's the biggest slap of karma I've ever seen. And quick, like a year and a half. I'm just saying, what if he didn't? But I had an epiphany upstairs. The trial today was unreal. I needed a glass of wine, 6 Klonopin, a massage, and a nap when it was over with. But I love the last witness, Dr. Lindsay. I think that's his name. Wait a minute. Kinsey, Dr. Kinsey. And I told Mom, I said, he ain't going to take this shit. He ain't going to take this shit. Hey, Sarah. Sarah, are you exhausted? I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. So tomorrow, and guess what? Shannon didn't take upstairs last night her handy dandy notebook. And I came downstairs and did a load of clothes before 9. And I said, I'll just grab it. I'll grab it when I go back and, flip them into the dryer. Right back up the stairs, my fat ass went. So we have, hold on. We have multiple, look at this. We have multiple envelopes. I mean, I want Dr. Kinsey to have his own show. I really do. I'm glad he told him to have, yeah. I was, hey, Don K. He made him look like a fool. And when they recreated what the defense said happened, which was that Paul was shot with the bird shot, and then the murderer went around him in that door, picked up the gun, and shot. It made no sense at all. And Dr. Kinsey was not. He said there was a void there. That didn't happen. And I've also... All right, how many of animals have we heard from? Here's my news. I'm going to make shirts. Hogs, dogs, chickens, and quail. That's just what it's going to be. People who know will know. People who don't know will wonder what the hell you got on your shirt. I know. Dawn, it was like I was cheering. And then my husband was going to pick up my daughter. We thought she got out of her after school activities at 4:30, right? He gets off at 4:30. Hey, Peggy, my sweet love. Oh no, stays on. Don't go. Hey, Sage, how are you, love? Rod and Ho. Anyway, I thought he was going to pick her up, right? So I brought up my cheap wine because it was like 4:00. Hey, and I poured it, right? Poured some in a glass. Oh, I'm getting off at 4:15. Can you come get me? And I'm like, all right. So I'm driving there, right? Like, I'm surprised I get a ticket because you can't have a phone in your hand. And where I have to put it in my car. I didn't want to put it like up here. Hey, Grady takes a trip. He said, I love you. I didn't want to put it like over here because I will be watching it. So I put it in my console with the speaker out, right? And I'm in the car laughing. I'm sitting in the parking lot, dying laughing at Dr. Kinsey, just like, what are you not getting? He kept looking at him like he was a complete, oh, your Alice has killed you. I love, sorry, Dawn. Let me put the invite in here. If you come up on, you do not have to cam up. If you just want to come up and just give your thoughts, you do not have to cam up. I'm just saying, y'all already know that, though. We're only 9 minutes in. I'm gonna wait. Ring it ding it. How you doing, baby? Oh, baby. Now, Savage was gonna go live. That's why I moved it up to 7:30 because I thought, okay, 8:30. I only do an hour. I mean, there's only so much we can talk about. I don't know. We might be able to talk about it today. She was gonna go on at 8, and then she pushed it back to 9. So I was like, okay, I'll move. That's why I moved it a couple times. And then she had something come up, so she couldn't go on at 9. So, and there's no F It Up Friday. Your girls need a break, even though I took a break last week. I guess I took a break last week. I'm just gonna, you know what? Let's get into it. Ronnie Crosby, who was, I was impressed with him the first go round. Oh, the book. the damn book. And then when Dr. Kinsey was listing off more books, I think that bald dude was like, there's more books. There's not only one book on bullets. Okay, well, we didn't read that book. Yeah, Ronnie Crosby came out first. I was impressed with him the first time. Very close to Paul. Probably one of his enablers. I don't know. Hey, Spanky. How you doing? What am I saying? Oh, analysis. Crosby for the win, Kathy. Because I thought at one point he gonna get up and kill this little son of a bitch, Mr. Harpoon. So, he said they rode around, him and Paul, mainly him and Paul, looking for hogs with their guns. What they do down there, I guess, when things are, boring. He thought that, hey, Betty, he thought that Alex had a great relationship with, hey, Daphne, he thought that Alex had a great relationship with law enforcement because, my God, I mean, he's there and, he's pushing himself through with lights and shit. We'll get to the lights in a minute. But apparently that is not true. So we have just proven that was not true. Hold on, I found my straw. I get my ice at Zaxby's. I just want to say, I'm going to take a break. If y'all ever see me with those big Zaxby's cups, I'm an ice addict. I'm a connoisseur, if you will. The only two ices that I will the only two ices I will accept are Zaxby's ice or what is that one up there? Sonic ice. Okay. Hey, T-Bird. Thank you. Sorry. It's only two ices. It's not too much to ask, right? If I go to Zaxby's and get a large unsweet tea and a bag of ice, it's $5.30. I put the bag in my car and I go home. I'm a happy girl. If you ever see me, I have a lot of them because I go like every 3 days. I'm just saying, no, I'm not. No. I'm an ice chomper too, but nobody will. So I have to explain about that. All right. So, okay. Excuse me. Let me read what I wrote down here. And I'm like, hey, Uber, I love you. I know. On the trial. Uber, come up. Somebody come up here with me and talk about it. I'm going to put it back. It was 70 degrees today. Hold on, guys. I got to do this. I got my window up. I'm going to put my cheap ass curtains up. Oh, shit. Hold on. Well, I got to put my cheap ass curtains up. All right.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
I'm sorry. I'm going to pass. I don't know. Oh, it feels so good. All right. So let me read what I wrote. Because I was scribbling. All right. How he thought that Alex had a very good relationship with law enforcement. It looks like, he told, so Alex told him when he got to the scene, he checked Paul and Maggie, then Maggie. He said he rolled Paul over and then he checked Maggie. And then the story changed. It switched. He checked Maggie and then he checked Paul. And so, whose teeth are chattering? I don't know. I probably did too. I'd go to the dentist. I cracked my a crown right here. I chipped it on granola. That's why I don't eat healthy. Granola chipped my damn. All right, so then he switched his shirt around. So he's before calling 911. He said that. That's what he said. Okay, then we talked about that Mr. Barrett that was in the hospital in June 2018. And Alex stole from that man who was dying a $70,000 check, and then turned around and stole more. Here comes Uber. I love Uber. Hello, love.
I love you too. My God, what a day, wasn't it?
You heard me. I needed 6 Klonopin, a glass of wine, and a nap. Oh, and a massage.
Oh my God.
But you know what? I was for it.
Oh my God.
I was for it because these people that Mr. Waters put on the stand. Hey, Voodoo Soul. Hey, dog.
Hey, everybody.
The witnesses that he picked to put back on that panel, on that stand, weren't budging.
Mm-hmm.
And so when, the Barrett died, they put up the picture of the David Williams, the one that Alex thought the guy from SLED was. The guy, that guy looked like, no way. That the David that was in the car with him was a young man, not that guy, but when you own all them people. So let me cue up. Because when Mr. Harpo, that's what I call him, came running around there to cross-examine him. And, that man hasn't done anything. I'm talking about the man, Mr. Crosby. He ain't the one on trial. Your boy over there is, but and this guy said nothing. He said Paul was a great kid. They had a good relationship. And he did tell the truth about Alex. Dick or Poot. Dick or Poot.
Oh my God.
So let me see, present. I always F this up. Sorry.
So while you're doing that, let me tell you, I went and watched the documentary over on Netflix today.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in that documentary that they did not bring up in this trial.
No, they did not.
Mm-hmm.
They did not. Let me real quick. Oh, let me stop it. They did not. I got the wrong one up. And you remember Mr. Crosby said that he saw things that night that haven't been brought up in this trial.
Yes.
Hey, Jamila. Hey,
I felt bad for that guy.
Hey, Sheila. Hey, Donna. Hey, Mr. D. I want to know what I would kill to know what that is. I probably don't want to know it, but I'm sure it's great.
I think it'll be brought up after the trial. I got a feeling that he's going to be doing a lot of interviews.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. Why do I have all the wrong things pulled up? I tried to leave. No, that's the wrong one too. I tried to leave it up because they keep trying to, that law and crime, they put it behind paywalls.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so I'm like,
so there's a, and I get real excited about this. So just slap me down if you get tired of hearing me.
You go right ahead.
But there's a YouTube channel. Well, number one, there is, it's called 48 Hours. There's a 48 Hours documentary on this. But there's also a channel called the Behavior Panel. And these are expert people that go in and do nothing but follow the way that you are acting and talking on a stand.
Really?
And they pick Alex Murdaugh completely apart on this. And it makes a lot of sense on what he does, how he shakes his head, how he moves the mic. I'll have to send you this link. Matter of fact, I'll do it right now while I'm waiting on you. I'll put it in your Twitter.
Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, there you go. I'm making sure y'all can see it. Let's make it bigger because this deserves to be bigger. All right. This is when he walking over there.
Experienced a lot of anger, but you can't walk around with anger. You have to find. Yes,
I'm sorry. I've put it way too far.
The question to earlier in my testimony You
Sorry,
always
well,
write
Giving
about
Hogwarts
about
or have him hunt on your property.
them all with
I like Mr.
Health that full. My
All right, guys, I thought I had it right on there.
like a lot of people have, but when I didn't set up for her, but he specifically told me that in with
Well, we'll just get his whole
and
testimony here.
what I
The defendant during cross-examination was specifically asked about this particular transaction, and that we're about to discuss the defendant's
All right.
Barrick's best friend.
Hold on, we got it across me.
believe because one of these exhibits when that occurred, the materials that Ms. Seconder put in.
Business, I think you just said it would not be unusual.
All right, let's watch this.
He made the 911 call, whatever it was, I'm not quite sure. Before, I think is what you said. If that would be inconsistent with something he says later on, after having reviewed other people's statements, looking at video, that would not be unusual in your business. I think you just
Mm.
What happened?
There you go.
Well, Shannon is 6net. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming and joining Shannon. She gets invested in this, as we all do. She loves it.
Hey, Jeff, baby.
Hugs, everybody. It's not showing here, Shannon. I don't know
it's
what
not?
happened to it, but
Okay,
it's
I'm
not playing.
so sorry. Hold on. Let me
No,
see.
it's not
Yes,
showing.
Oh, hell's bells, people. All right.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. I shouldn't be allowed to do this.
You're doing fine.
All right. How about now? Because I see it.
Yes, ma'am. Looking good.
Okay.
Yep, looking good. Just play her. Let's make sure we hear it.
Objection, Your Honor. It's sustained. It's not a question, jury.
Look at him looking at him.
Argument.
Look at
you are
Mr.
not angry
Crosby.
with Alec Murdaugh.
I have had anger with him, extreme anger, Mr. Hart-Pootlian, because of what he did to my law firm, my partners, my client, his clients, our clients, what he did to his family, what he's did to so many people. Yes, I experienced a lot of anger, but you can't walk around with anger. You have to find a way to deal with it and move forward. And I have done that. And if you suggest you are dead wrong, if you think I've come in here and told this jury something because of money, when we're talking about two people who were brutally murdered, then you're headed in the wrong direction.
Do you think he did it?
I don't have an opinion. I don't have the
Let's
benefit.
stop there. Let's stop there real quick. Is this guy crazy? Why are you asking a witness if they think he did it? Why are you pointing to your client and saying, because he stole your money? What is wrong with you? And the man, Christy, baby, hello, Samantha. That man did not answer. I don't think he might have answered, but what in the hell was he thinking? Yeah, Jeff, I would have said, you're right, I think he did it.
Yep, exactly, Jeff. I was thinking the same way. I was waiting for him to say something like that, but what did they expect the man to do? They expect him not to be mad?
I don't know. It's like he, in a little while, hello, Gail. He'll say in a little while, I got to move on. You know, I've got to move on. I can't do this. And I mean, that's the story of life. You got to move on sometimes. You know, it's just sucks, and you got to pay for something you didn't do. But hope it all works out in the end. I mean,
and this is the same guy, along with the defense attorneys now, that were helping Paul get out of his mess.
Exactly.
Over that boat wreck.
Paul was
So
enabled
they,
by John, little
Mhm.
John, what's the damn uncle? Fuck. Shit, I mean,
yeah,
whatever
John
his name.
Richard or something like that.
He enabled him when he'd flip a car, wreck a boat, or whatever. That uncle was always there, enabling
Uh-huh.
a 20 or a 19-year-old alcoholic. So
Mhm.
I'm supposed to believe that these parents are enabling these children to drink alcohol, but nobody's noticing that Alex is on drugs. Do you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Is it so you're going to ignore the kid being an alcoholic, but you're really worried about your husband Alec and your father Alex taking?
Can I ask you your opinion on something, Shannon?
Thank you, Hope.
This family has been very, very influential and very manipulative and dangerous throughout the whole town and
Yeah,
the surrounding areas throughout years. Richard, it goes clear back to great grandpa. So when these people, like this guy that got up here today, and everybody else getting up there, all the way up to the judge, in your opinion, do you think that these people have been threatened or bought off in any way?
I don't know if they've been bought off because, quite frankly, I don't know what's left. You know, I mean, Alex absolutely has nothing left. He can't. What I mean,
Right.
John Marvin, he runs two equipment rental places. Maybe he makes, I guess he makes a lot of money. He looks like he's pretty affluent. The other brother is a lawyer. I have, that Murdaugh name is going down. I mean, it is going down. It is going way down.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's pretty weird to me that, I don't know. I just don't have a good feeling about him getting, well, in my opinion, I believe he did it, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah, Kimberly says
But
threats for sure.
anyway.
Threats for sure. So
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Kimberly. Because
um,
these people are scared.
yeah, I think some of the people that weren't quite like this man was on Alex's level financially and professionally and financially. I think he was up there with Alex. He was doing it the right way. So what can you really see? I mean, this man said, I've lost my practice. He's lost a lot. So I just don't know what they have left to offer. I don't know because we'll find out. I mean, we're going to find out as soon as these jurors come back. We're going to find out how that how great that hold is on them. So
okay, yeah, I just wanted to ask. I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no, it's a good question.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say I don't think he was. I don't believe for 1 minute he was on painkillers for 20 years. Ziggles. I do not believe it. Now he might have been on them. Maybe he started in 2017, whatever. But that's not a man that's been on OxyContin for 20 years. One, he was enormous. All right. And I know addiction and addicts come in all different shapes and sizes. But look, he's all he come on in. What do I think? What do I think on the verdict? I honestly don't know. And I say that because I sat through OJ. I sat through Casey Anthony.
Oh, I know it.
Trayvon Martin. We can go on. I sat through those trials just like I did this one. And I was shocked and gobsmacked at the verdicts. So now, I don't know. He said start back in high school. He can kiss my ass. Alex, I know you watch it in jail. You was not on drugs for 20 years. Hold on.
It'll be interesting tomorrow when the...
Hey, LLM. This has just been...
It'll be interesting tomorrow when they take off and go out to the house.
Not today, Satan.
The jury.
let me see. The state could have done so much more. Well, they listen. I said it, y'all. Roll the tape back. I said cousin Eddie won't never coming. All right. The prosecution had them on the witness list to scare the hell out of the defense. And then the hey, polyester jumpers, then the defense, okay, absolutely opened that door the very day that the judge said you can't bring Uncle Eddie in or cousin Eddie. The prosecution that day and so obviously opened the door wide open for cousin Eddie. So then you got, hey, warrior grandma baby. You've got now the prosecution going, oh man, don't put him up there. You know, he's crazy. Nobody's gonna believe him. Anything he says. He's an inmate, you know.
Right.
Yeah. And you notice they asked Alex about September. We'll just call it September. But nothing else has been said about September and the fake, murder.
Mm-mm.
So, all right, let me go. Let's go play this one again. All right, look, because this man is he needs a vodka tonic stat. You could tell.
I felt bad for this guy.
It was quarter past his vodka tonic because he crazy. Right?
Oh, he was getting
pissed of the materials you have.
Mad. Well, let me ask you this. You're angry with him, stole millions of dollars from your firm. You admit your firm's not even called the Murdaugh firm anymore, right?
It is not. I don't admit that I'm angry right now. I told you I've gotten away from that. I don't have any feelings because you can't walk around with anger. I have been very, very angry about it because of what he's done. And he did it in a very callous way, a very deceitful way.
And you carry I'm sorry, maybe I just saw some anger there. Were you angry just a moment ago?
And
you keep trying to push a question and don't want to accept my answer, which is what it is.
That you've just given your Zen, your Nirvana, your whatever the
Your Honor, objection.
Mr. Harpootlian,
forgiven him?
I came to the scene of these murders to support my partner. I was there. I saw things that hadn't even been talked about in this courtroom. I was there. I love Paul very much. I thought I knew who Alec was. I did not. And it's hard to you might not understand, but it's hard to walk around with anger and hard to even walk around with it when it's with somebody who you didn't know and didn't understand. So you might have be that way, but you know, I've got a function, I've got a family, I got to move on with life.
Were you aware that he went to rehab in 2017?
I was not,
Really?
other than what was said by Alec in this courtroom.
You never were aware he had a drug problem?
I was unaware.
Okay. Sort of.
And if I would have been known, I would have tried to help him.
All right, we'll stop it right there. Here's the great thing about this case, I think, for people like us. We have had witness after witness that are lawyers, right? I mean, they're getting away with stuff. They're throwing things out in the, you know, after a question. It's amazing. Hello. Why can't I hear anybody? Oh, you better not.
I can hear you. Sorry, I had myself on mute.
I was on the other side. I'm sorry. I was still watching the trial and looking at it. Why is the damn chat not moving? Anyway, so we've got lawyers. We have had lawyer after lawyer after lawyer. They flags that have taken that stand and they have argued back and forth, and you think they're done, and then they holler something else. I mean, it's like lawyers acting badly. But, I mean, I say they're not, you know, but they're just like Alex didn't know when to shut up. He did not know when to shut up.
No.
And Mr. Waters capitalized on that because he kept him away from the 911 call and Officer Green. He didn't mention them no more. But Alex kept expanding, and hey, Fit and Curvy kept expanding and talking. And and that's how Mr. Waters got him. he had him talking about everything else, and then he forgot he lied. No, you didn't, like I said yesterday, you didn't decide to lie in that sled car. You lied when you called 911. So
He sure did.
yeah.
Yep.
But I got a theory I'm going to share. I'm telling you, I had an epiphany. I might call Mr. Waters tonight. I'm sure he's busy, but I'm going to leave a message.
I would if I were you.
Right.
I would record it too.
Right. All right, I think now they're going to if y'all want to go on, if y'all want me to go on and play that, they're talking about the blackout gun, what guns they took to go look for hogs.
Yep.
And so the defense is, hey, Jack's mom, most lawyers would tell the witness to
They never found the gun.
Answer the question.
But
it's that kiss.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid. That's what they say. Kiss,
Yep.
kiss, keep it simple, stupid. That's true. So the defense is basically trying to set up the blackout gun being there, or how, did he take the blackout gun? What was his favorite gun? Did he take the shotgun? That last ride around and I don't know how Mr. Crosby is supposed to know about that last ride around that Alex said they took, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Books. It doesn't matter what is done with the phone. Oh, that guy. All right, let's talk. Hey, twin thing. Can we just get that phone guy out the way right now?
Oh, what an idiot that guy was. What was the prosecution thinking?
I don't know. I wish I did know. So this moron sat around his house, throwing his phone all around the house, didn't record it, didn't log it, didn't photograph
Not a thing.
Measure it. It was Mr. Waters, if one of the other lawyers told you to bring him on, you should fire him tomorrow, because that was worthless.
Yeah.
Information.
It was, and they should have thrown him out of there. In actuality, I believe, that, like the lawyer said, he's not an expert witness, like he's claiming to be.
That was precious time they had. That was precious time. And they wasted it, because when the defense got up, they annihilated him. Don't. So
yep, they sure did.
It was. Let me see what else I put on here.
What about the autopsy gal? What did you think of her?
I think she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I do too.
I think she did, and she didn't X-ray the brain. I'm not a pathologist. I don't know, but from what everyone has said, they all said it looked intact. So she didn't see a need to weigh it, because it's or to X-ray it.
Well, and like she was saying about the gases in the brain, if there would have been the gases, it would have exploded his whole face. Would have been gone, which wasn't the case. I really believed her, and I liked her witness.
I liked her too.
Yeah.
I liked her the first time, and I liked her even better. Because look, here's what I wanted, and I wondered right now, is okay, you've already talked to her one time. Why are you acting like you don't know what the hell she's talking about now, when you've already cross-examined her? So, and she has not come, you know what I'm saying? You've already cross-examined her. Why are you acting like you didn't? Hello, evil queen. So that was odd to me. Sorry, just very odd. But she
did, Jeff.
Dr.
Jeff.
Rayner.
I liked her. He tried like Jeff said, he tried rallying her up, and it worked. And that's why she had to keep going back and re-explaining.
I love it when he kept asking her about the book. That damn book, the book, right? Yep. And she said, "I don't know. Go get the book. I don't need to go look."
I liked it too. I liked that too.
Battering. It was battering and battering. But
why didn't the state say, hey, judge, they're going battering a witness here. Stop it.
I don't know. That judge is laid back. He never lose hope.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's just like, I'm gonna let y'all sink yourself. I don't really know. He is the one though. If you're in that, all right. So you did watch the Netflix, right? Let me put it back on.
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Let me put it back on us real quick. All right, and I said this when after I watched it, and it is a very oh, never lose hope. I love you. I lost a lot of the sympathy I had for the victims in this case when I watched that documentary. And that is a harsh thing to say. But they were
For Paul and Maggie?
Yeah. I lost a
Mm-hmm.
lot of my sympathy
Mm-hmm.
because he
Mhm.
was a train wreck. And he was he was going to kill somebody else or himself
Eventually.
sooner
Mm.
than later.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yep.
that poor housekeeper who raised those
Oh my God.
is laying
Gloria.
steps, and the 911 is asking Maggie questions, and she says, "Why are you asking me so many questions?"
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a fucking housekeeper at the end of your steps, dead.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Polly has to jumper. Thank you very much. So
You know what I think happened? I think that Maggie pushed
I
her,
was too quick.
and Paul knew about it, and that's why Alec took those two out.
I think it's awful funny that she has this accident as soon as he takes out a $5 million insurance policy on the house.
Bingo. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
I
That's
mean,
true. That's true.
I am not accusing that woman of anything. I am saying, here's the deal. I will tell you what it is. She is a mob wife. She knows her shit is falling off a truck somewhere, right? And she don't ask no questions as long as that shit keep falling off the truck. Now, did she have to get her hands dirty in this one? I don't know. I don't know what happened. We'll never know what happened.
Dawn said that Buster was on the phone with 911. Was it Buster or Paul?
Oh,
it was there at the house when Gloria.
I don't remember. Yes, Peggy,
Okay.
a lot of red flags. I mean,
Yes.
I'm sorry, you've been married to that man for a long time. I mean, her sister said she was never one to, she never balanced her checkbook, and she just have bills and stuff like her checks. It must be nice. Nobody's that dumb.
Yep.
Nobody's that dumb. Well, question.
Yeah.
I mean,
what a scary place. What a scary place.
I lost a lot, and I said it, and I know it sounds hard, but I lost a lot of sympathy for those victims. I really did. Hey, Heels, I didn't. Obviously, no one wants this to happen, but God, when that documentary, I mean, there's just no. They were.
Look at how many people.
Yeah, they've hurt. They didn't take money from rich people. No, he took money from a man dying. He took money from a quadriplegic. He took money from two special needs. I mean, boys. I'm the first. The oldest boy that testified did a great job. He holds down a job. He did a great job on the stand, but he's still special needs. And they let him be evicted from a mobile home while he's sitting on $5 million. Their $5 million. So, and I will never, ever think that it was not coincidence that as soon as Miss Jeannie came in there with that check and said, Alex, can you explain this?
Oh, my God.
On June 7th, 2021, that he didn't think, oh, shit, because they had another, Paul's trial was the 11th. The older Murdaugh was sent home.
That's right.
Cancer, died 3 days after the killing at home. Now, see, Peggy, I thought about that too. I ain't gonna lie, Peggy.
Wow, Peggy.
He died on the 11th, I think the day that Paul was supposed to go to court. So that bought Alex a lot of time. a lot of time. He
Oh,
knew it was
man.
coming. He knew. So, I just, I can't.
Yeah, that is a good point. Hmm
It's just,
and I was watching that private investigator that was putting all these people in line that belonged to the Murdaughs. There was that Mallory,
thank you.
then there was Stephen, and
Right.
then there was Gloria, and then there was Maggie and Paul. 5 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And yeah, he also a family of psychopaths. When you are given no boundaries, when you are just, you children, sorry, I mean, I said this all yesterday, I know, but I'll say it again. Children need boundaries. And the older they get, the more boundaries they need. And these children were just, I mean, Buster plagiarized in law school. He ain't gonna get no damn law school. Fossey, welcome to the screening room. He ain't getting no damn law school. Sorry, he is a failure. And I'm very sorry, but when you raise little assholes, that's what you end up with. Little assholes. So then we had the sheriff come on, who we remember Alex said that he, where the hell Uber go? That he gave Alex permission to put the blue lights on his car. And that sheriff got up and said, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Never did it. Never told him he could do it. So this is that thing where Alex played cop. Alex had that badge. Alex wanted blue lights on his Suburban because he was running around playing cop. When he showed up on the scene, right, he was the assistant special. Peggy, you don't have to do that. But I'm glad you did. Thank you. That's going to be my meet and greet money, honey. Thank you, Peggy. Thank you. Sorry. So, yeah, the sheriff said, I don't know what the hell. And then they talked about the guy, the other guy that put the lights on. I didn't understand none of that. I didn't care nothing about that. All right, Eddie Gibson. Oh, Eddie Gibson put the lights on. Peggy, I love you so much. Thank you for that. Sheriff didn't know he had them. There we go. And then we had Paul. Wait a minute. That was the phone guy. I'm not even going to talk about that phone guy. Shut up with that phone guy. I'll find that phone guy. Hit him in the head. All right, Mark Ball returned. I'm going to put this link in here. Y'all just grab it if you want. Mark Ball returned. Asked about if Alex had no trust in SLED, and he said that Alex had a very good relationship. Peggy, it's a sweet thing. He had a very good relationship with the police. So we had this whole thing with Alex saying, I didn't trust the police. That didn't end up very well. Then we went back to the hogs. There comes the Uber back. Did you pass out? You're muted, baby. Do you think she knows she's muted? You're muted. All right, so Mark Ball is the resident expert in hog killing. And we talked about the guns and the 300 blackouts, which he did not like the 300 blackouts. He liked his own kind of gun. Paul liked his own kind of gun. And if y'all will remember Buster, when Buster was on the stand, we know that Paul's blackout gun was replaced. We remember this, right? The guy said it. The guy that sold him the other 2 guns sold him a 3rd gun. All right, because Paul was too stupid to lock his car while he was getting drunk and left an AK-47 type weapon in his front seat in the middle of the South Carolina, whatevers. So, talk about all the weapons. Let's see. He again said that Alex said he went to to Maggie and checked her, and then to Buster. He's changed that since then. Do you know you're muted? Uber? I don't know if you don't know.
Wait, okay.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. God dang, you'd think I'd had a couple cocktails or something.
Sometimes I forget. All right, I'm
Thank
trying to
you.
write. I write so small when I get excited. But he's another one
Oh
that
my
said they
gosh.
checked them both. Blue light, stolen money, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go back over.
There
here.
is so much to this case, and I don't think we're ever going to know how many spider webs, this tunnels that'll go down from one person goes down to another. It's like a domino effect.
You're right. Jack's mom, I don't think they were. I don't think they were tested for gunpowder residue. It makes sense that it would have been there because he handled guns,
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I think that both of their hands were bagged because, especially Maggie's, I know were bagged. Because remember we had the clippings. We know that there's one thing of DNA under her nail that is not, we don't know who it is. But how long has Murdaugh been killing folks? Well, this particular side of the family, Peggy, possibly since 2015. Possibly, if Buster was involved with Stephen Smith. And many have said that he was, but it is a rumor. But it was a rumor that a lot of people truly believed. I mean, that as soon as that boy was found dead, everybody said Buster Murdaugh did it. And even said, really don't sound like something Buster would do, but it sounds like something Paul would do.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just reading what Dawn was saying in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
They had that airplane, a small airplane, and landing strip there, and it was mentioned that they did a lot of could be trafficking, smuggling drugs. They did a lot of illegal stuff in there. I shouldn't say they did. I should say allegedly. Sorry.
I don't think they're going to sue us. So reading books says, was Maggie walking on the problem? Okay, so from what we gather, all right, and what the evidence shows is that Paul and Maggie were where the dogs were, and she had let her dogs out. She had 2 dogs, Grady and Buster. No, not Buster. I don't remember what. She let them out. They were excited.
Buddy or Bodie?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember. So she was playing with her dogs. She loved her dogs. Paul was over here getting his friend's dog, getting a picture of the friend's dog. His friend was working out of town, and he left his dog Cash with Paul. But Cash had developed some kind of like little sore on his tail, and he wanted to make sure that the boy knew. And so they tried to do it, FaceTiming, so that the boy could see his dog's butt. And Bubba, there you go. And the internet was spotty. So he said, I'll just record it and send it to you on Snapchat. And he's inside that feed room. That feed room is like a closet. I mean, it's not huge. He was in that feed room trying to get the dog to turn around so he could get a shot of it. And he was filming the dog. This is what happened that screwed him. His son screwed him. Alex obviously did not know that he was filming the dog. He probably thought he had FaceTimed the dog, but he probably didn't know that, he probably thought it was gone. And Paul is then shot inside the feed room, standing in the feed room with birdshot to his upper right, left, chest, arm, up into his jaw. And then the bullet, not the bullet, but the right after that was the buckshot, which are steel balls. The birdshot is lead balls. The buckshot is steel balls. And that is what he turned his head, right? And was shot
Right.
right up in here, right, like in here. And as we heard, Dr. Kinsey explained several times, the gases did what they do, and his brain ripped off the stem, bounced off of the ceiling, and fell. All right. So Maggie, what is estimated, saw this, right, and started to run. This is what Dr. Kinsey believes.
Yep.
That's why he shot her 2 times in the legs with that blackout AK, 47 type weapon. And then he shot her through her abdomen. It hit her pancreas, her kidney. I cannot remember what else. It traveled out, went through a wrist.
God.
And then he came around and shot her mainly in the top of her head. And
God, what an asshole.
but listen, she had the mark of that Polaris, that ATV on her leg. You remember them saying that?
Yes.
Okay. This is what I thought of today. All right. Hold on, I get very excited. So because in a good lie, it's got a little bit of truth in it. Now he says when they finished all that, he jumped on the golf cart and took off back to the house so fast and so loudly that he couldn't hear 6 shots coming from behind him or whatever. And then so the defense said that somebody 5'2" or shorter, short, was doing the shooting. So my thing is, what if Alex was on the Polaris and shot him?
Yep.
He wouldn't be 6'4" anymore.
Very good.
And what if he did run her down and he hit her with that thing and he shot her? And what if that hose was not rolled up properly because he washed that Polaris off? He took his clothes off because them clothes is gone. Got on the golf cart and fucked off right up there. 300 steps from the time he left the kennels to the time he left the house to go to his mama's. 300 steps. I told y'all yesterday, I went outside and I walked 300 steps. That's a lot of damn steps.
Well, you might have. Oh my God, that gives me the goosebumps.
He would have been shorter. He still would have been, he's 6'4". If you're sitting on that, you're lower. And why wouldn't you have 2 guns on your side? Guns were everywhere. They hunted hogs. So I'm saying.
Oh my God, Shannon. That gives me goosebumps.
Because I looked at my mom and when he said the Polaris, I forgot about the Polaris. And I thought, what if he's sitting on it? He ain't 6'4" no more. I have a criminal mind, y'all. Listen, I won't always a housewife. I got a criminal mind.
Well, true. So I have another question. Do you remember on that video, the video cams? Do you remember the window in the shed? There was 2 bullet shots that went through that window. Where do you think that happened? Did it exit out of Paul, or where do you think those came from?
So Dr. Kinsey, he said, all right, so you remember that as soon as he got up there, I mean, we went back through Dr. Kinsey's, I thought, well thought out, easy to understand version of the way things had to have gone. And then they get up and it looks like they want to walk back their 5'2" thing. To me, it looked like they wanted to walk that back a little bit because that's kind of ridiculous.
God, that makes perfect sense.
So and Dr. Kinsey demonstrated the way they said it happened, which was they shot Paul. He was stunned. Dr. Kinsey said that's why his arms were down, because they know that because blood ran down his arm. So he was standing. And then the coroner said that the reason his face wasn't blown off is because he turned his head and it went in his neck and out the side. So
Right.
now I thought it was interesting that Dr.
Oh
Kinsey
my
said, I
God.
can't, I'm not going to be able to tell you why, 2 pellets ended up over there. I don't know. It's, there's too many variables, but the majority of the facts are constant. There's a void where the person was standing or sitting when they shot Paul. And it would be a whole lot.
Oh,
That,
shit.
that I just when I heard it, hey D baby, when I heard it, I thought, oh shit, he was sitting on that damn Polaris.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And he had to run around. He had to wash it off because it was wet. Things were wet, and they're not. He wasn't the suspect. He should have been the first suspect, but he wasn't. So
I wonder if they ever took that
go.
Polaris in for evidence. Yeah.
It's a year and a half later. I don't know what you're going to find on it, but I think it's real odd that those clothes haven't shown up. I mean, he said he had 4 different houses where those clothes could be. No, Paul, no. Yeah, I don't. And that blackout gun, the one that replaced the one that Paul lost, has never. That's Buster said. I've
never been found.
Yeah, I've never seen it. So that's what I came up with today. Side by side on an ATV. Alan, do you think there was 2 shooters? Because that one guy said he thought there were 2 shooters. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with that, and here's probably why the prosecution is ignoring that. If you say there are 2 shooters, and Alexander is one of them, you damn well better know which one he killed, and you better know who the other shooter was, or this is a wrap. You're not going to get him. And you could say Cousin Eddie, but I don't even think Cousin Eddie would kill a woman, or, he's a child. He's 22, but he's a child. I don't think Ed's in on
right.
it. So what do y'all think? Like I said, y'all, I haven't always been a trophy wife. I do have a criminal mind. Because I looked at my wife and I went, wait a damn minute. I'm going to email Mr. Waters. He's going to have to do it all again. He's going to do it all again. What if it comes out hung?
In my opinion, I think Buster's. Sorry.
I'm saying, what if they're hung and we got to do this again? I can't.
Oh my God. Wouldn't that? Oh yeah, I could. There's got to be.
I hope you're having a good night too.
There's got to be more out there. Family gun was used to shoot her, or someone who shot at the house. Yep, Jeff. Very good point. Very good point. Oh my gosh, this just gives me the goosebumps.
It's like Dr. Kinsey says, there are so many unknown variables to this. That it's gonna, unless Alex sits down with somebody and tells them exactly what happened, we're never gonna know what happened.
What do you think about Buster? Do you think he's involved in any of this, Shannon?
No, I think Buster's too stupid, and I'm not being mean. Don't get me wrong. I don't, Alex had 2 sons, and Buster, wanted to be the lawyer. I don't know that. I think Buster, the only thing Buster wanted to be was a frat boy. And Paul was not the lawyer type. He wanted to be outside. There's a lot of pressure on Buster to carry that family name in the law. It didn't matter if he wanted to do it or not. It's almost like the King of England. It's like you're in succession. You're the first son. You're going to be a lawyer. That's a lot of pressure on a kid. I don't think he did. I think he did. I don't think so. I don't know. Sometimes
I don't know, or maybe he knows something. I don't know.
Yeah, he gets a look on his face sometimes, and it's a smirk. And to me, it's a smirk. Hey, Southern Ellie, did Paul and Maggie have no, they didn't. That's another thing. They did not have any life insurance. No. But
Why?
she owned the
Somebody
beach.
in there. Oh, that's ridiculous.
She either owned the beach house or she owned Moselle. So it went. All of her belongings went to Alex. I mean, he got a whole house, and she wasn't going to stay that night. She was not going to stay that night because in the morning she had to meet an appraiser at the beach house. She was having all the work done, and they were going to appraise it because they, I don't know if they were going to sell it, but they wanted it appraised, probably for insurance purposes. But she wasn't ever going to stay there. So he called them both in. He called Paul to be there and he called Maggie to be there. And he did it after he left work with Jenny going, hello, why do you have this check? So my mother, my mother, bless her heart, she has flipped. She has many theories. So at first she thought, okay, he killed her because he didn't want her to have to go through this. They were going to lose everything. And that's why he killed Paul.
Right.
And then she switched it around. I don't know why. But she said today, I think maybe Paul said something shitty to his dad, and his dad just picked up that gun and shot him and thought, oh, hell, now I got to kill her. That's a little out there, but Mom was on the wine, so I don't know.
Huh.
She was on her second glass of wine. She cracked her bottle open and
bless her heart.
This is killing me.
Oh, bless her heart.
I know. So yeah, we're both.
Well, I think with Maggie filing for divorce, I think that has made, of course, it made Alec Mattern a wet hen. But why would he kill Paul? Other than Paul might know some of the dirty dealings that his dad has done, and assets and that kind of thing. And
Paul was getting ready to cost him $30 million.
Yes. Oh, yeah, exactly. The trial. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Paul's getting ready to cost him $30 million.
Yeah.
And Buster had a civil suit against him because it was his ID that Paul used. They all had, all three of them, and Paul. Maggie's will was changed. Crossed out Maggie's name and signed him. What? Maggie's sister Marion was the beneficiary and says she's not interested. Huh? Peggy.
Wow, Peggy. Oh.
Well, see, my mom told me she kept hearing that they were like, Maggie was going to file for divorce. And I said, I have not ever heard that. Could be true. But when the prosecution didn't bring it up, it can't, that's a biggie. The prosecution would bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it was just we were in the beginnings of the, hey, go. We were in the beginnings of this.
Yeah, Yep, she had went and talked to, according to that documentary, she did go and talk with a divorce attorney. Well, where in the hell would you find a divorce attorney that wouldn't know about the Murdaughs? You know what I'm saying?
That area.
That'd be a tough one.
Yeah, see, John Marvin is the only one that's not a lawyer. But you know what? Maybe that's why he was her executor. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. He enabled Paul. He enabled him. And I'm sorry, you've got to, when he said crying, and I'm sure it was horrible to go there and have to clean that up. And he said, I owed him that.
Oh, God.
You damn right you owed him that. You goddamn right you did. Because you helped enable him to do the things that he did. Yeah, that's the least you owed him. I mean, I'm sorry. I have, this family wants to be, they're victims. No, you're perpetrators.
Yeah.
You're not victims.
Yeah.
And
God almighty, what a family.
I can't, and here's Buster. Buster is now, let's wait to see what this jury says. Because if Paul goes to jail for life, Alex. Here's Buster. Been enabled his whole life. Been What?
Yeah, Buster Scrooge. Yeah.
He's been enabled. He has been oh God, trying to think of the word.
Not today, Satan.
Yes, not today, Satan. That's right. Coddled, indulged his entire life. And he has now he's got his uncles, he's got his cousins, but his family is done. It's over. They're all gone. Bye. I love you. They're done. He's done. I'll say it. I heard a rumor about Grandpa Murdaugh was upset with Paul lawsuit. Well, Grandpa is the one that kept bailing Paul out. And he was the first one they would call. Oh, all right. I love you, Jeff. Thank you for coming in, my love. Paul would call Grandpa first before anybody. And again, he was indulged.
Yes,
he was
all the time. Yep.
And he was enabled. So just because people have millions and millions of dollars doesn't mean they don't have, money doesn't buy happiness. As we all know, I mean, it can rent it. It will rent happiness for a little while. But I mean, ultimately, I can't help but I can't. I don't understand it. I don't know how much the kids knew about. They couldn't have known that he was stealing, but they knew about the drugs. And I guess they said,
because Gail
drinking while you're taking drugs. I mean, that might have come out of his mouth.
Remember, Gail went to Paul and showed where the drugs were underneath Alex's bed.
Yeah.
That day.
I don't know. And
so he had to have known.
Well, I've kept y'all now for an hour and 15 minutes. I like to keep these things at 1 hour because that means we have to fast pace through it and keeps everybody on their toes. I have a strict rule.
Oh, bless your heart. You did a good job.
Thank you. So tomorrow night we'll meet back here and we'll discuss closing arguments. I will probably have my hair all messed up because I will have a breakdown in my kitchen while I'm watching this.
Oh my God, Shannon, call me. We'll
talk.
It's going to be.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared that he's going to get.
Yeah, I think he's going to get off. I really do. I think it's going to be another.
It's going to be another OJ, another Casey, another. I can't.
Yeah.
Or a hung jury, and we got to do it again. But I'll tell you what, with Waters,
right?
I would 100% bring back Dr. What was her name again? I always forget her name, and I love her so much. Bring the corner back. Bring Dr. Kinsey back because he is a killer. He's a killer.
Yep.
Hey, Kentucky.
I think this is all going to. I really enjoyed today. I mean, as sad as it was very intense day, and I think tomorrow's going to. Remember, the jury's going to go over to the house, to the land. They're going to walk where where those two were killed. So it's going to be quite interesting.
I hope they have marked where the
Mm-hmm.
bodies were found because, I mean, to say that woman ran, and I'm sorry, I could see him run her down with that damn ATV. That way he's sitting, right? And if it is to his side, it's going to be blowback on him, but it's not going to be as much as if you're standing straight looking at him and then you're sitting. I think that damn Polaris has got something to do with that. But, the financial
problem. I think you're onto something there for sure.
2 million years. This is I'm not even going to say this is karma. This is what happens when you lie, cheat, and steal. I mean, if you get away with it, you don't ever get away with it. Shannon, you got me started on this case last week. Well, you've come to the good part, Kentucky, because we got the closing arguments. That's going to be fiery. So we'll have the prosecution go, then the defense will go, and then the prosecution will go one more time. They always get the last bite of the apple. And then they'll have this case by Friday, probably.
Yep.
And
That's
so,
what they're saying.
I don't know if they're going to sequester the jury. I don't know if they're going to let them work the weekend. I don't know. I mean, a weekend is a long time to start, from getting the case to actually deliberating. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll find out together.
Oh,
So
it'd be crazy. Hey, I did send you that link in your Twitter for that, those people. So it might be interesting.
Thank you. Yeah.
So anyway,
Peggy,
thank you for having me up. I greatly appreciate it.
Come back up tomorrow.
Oh God, I will.
I just want a whole panel of people yelling.
Yeah.
That's what I want. But
oh my gosh.
Chat, thank y'all for coming. I really appreciate it. You could be anywhere else in the world right now and you're here, and I really appreciate it a lot. So we'll see you here tomorrow, same time, same bat channel, and we'll see what's going on.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Have a good night, safe night, warm night, cool night, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Shannon.
Bye. I love you.